Telling the audience he felt dizzy.
What I have learned about my years of being in the business, when you are feeling dizzy, sit your...
Everything seemed normal, until the instant Lionel Richie stepped away from the spotlight. One of music's most legendary voices unexpectedly became the focus of growing global concern after a sudden medical incident disrupted a live appearance. Within minutes, audience footage flooded social media, scheduled performances were delayed following medical recommendations, and one troubling question quickly began dominating every conversation. Was this simply an unfortunate health setback? Or could it signal the start of a far more serious turning point in the life of an entertainment icon? As speculation spread at lightning speed, Lionel Richie's former wife, Diane unexpectedly found herself back in the middle of online discussions. Fans began revisiting their past together, wondering how those closest to the singer were responding behind closed doors. But even as theories multiplied, verified information remained surprisingly scarce. So what was really unfolding away from the cameras? And why does it seem like every new update is creating even more questions instead of bringing the answers millions have been waiting for?
Now, what I have learned about my years of being in the business, when you are feeling dizzy, sit your ass down. And when you are feeling strange about yourself, sit your ass down. Now, I want you to know, that's the first time in the history of dancing on the ceiling, I've done it sitting down.
Before this story goes any deeper, one thing needs to be made absolutely clear. There is a significant difference between verified facts and the rumors spreading across the internet. In just a matter of days, social media exploded with videos, headlines, and theories surrounding Lionel Richie's health. Some observers questioned whether the unexpected incident during his live performance might impact the rest of his tour, while others resurfaced moments from earlier stages of his career in search of possible clues. Yet despite the flood of online discussion, confirmed information has remained surprisingly limited. That is exactly what makes this situation impossible to ignore. Everything appeared to change on the opening night of the tour, when an unexpected interruption turned what was supposed to be a celebration into an evening filled with uncertainty. Fans who came expecting another unforgettable show instead witnessed one of the industry's most recognizable performers leave the stage before the performance could fully continue. From that point forward, the mood inside and outside the venue shifted dramatically. Across every major platform, concern escalated at remarkable speed. Longtime fans reflected on Lionel Richie's remarkable career, while countless others searched for credible updates that might explain what had taken place. At the same time, conversations involving people connected to different chapters of his personal life, including his former wife, Diane, began gaining momentum online, although no verified public statement from her confirming the viral claims had been established. As the coverage intensified, the story quickly evolved beyond one interrupted concert. Instead, many began asking whether this was simply an isolated medical setback after an exhausting performance, or the first indication that one of music's most celebrated careers could be approaching a completely unexpected turning point. For now, the questions continue to multiply. But before accepting viral theories or emotional headlines as reality, it's important to separate what has actually been confirmed from everything that still remains surrounded by uncertainty.
I thought it was great for him to be fully transparent with the audience, which is what he was doing.
To understand why this moment has resonated with millions of people, you first have to understand what Lionel Richie has represented for generations, and why the sound of his voice means so much to so many. For more than 40 years, Lionel Richie has remained one of the most recognizable voices in popular music. Classics like Hello, Endless Love, and All Night Long did far more than dominate the charts. They became the soundtrack to countless lives. From weddings and anniversaries to family gatherings and lifelong memories, his music has been woven into moments people never forgot. That is exactly why the recent headlines have struck such an emotional chord. Long before the latest incident made worldwide news, Richie had openly discussed a difficult chapter in his career involving serious vocal complications. After undergoing multiple surgeries, doctors eventually determined that severe acid reflux was the condition affecting his voice. His recovery became one of the industry's most inspiring comebacks, allowing him to return to stages across the world when many believed his best years might already be behind him. Instead of slowing down, he continued recording music, touring internationally, and appearing regularly on television, reminding audiences that his career was still very much alive. In more recent years, Richie also revealed that he lives with ADHD, speaking candidly about struggles involving concentration and sensory overload. While no official evidence has connected those experiences to the recent on-stage interruption, many online observers have revisited those interviews as they attempt to understand the broader demands of a career built on decades of non-stop performance. Then came the night in St. Paul, a performance that unexpectedly stopped. A tour schedule adjusted following medical advice. And suddenly, a story that had always been defined by resilience was being viewed through an entirely different perspective. Across social media, the conversation intensified almost immediately. Some longtime supporters questioned whether decades of relentless touring had finally begun taking a physical toll. Others urged caution, emphasizing that verified medical information remained limited and that online theories should never be mistaken for confirmed facts. That collision between growing public concern and the lack of official answers is exactly why this story continues to gain momentum. Because until more verified information becomes available, one question continues hanging over every discussion. Was this nothing more than a temporary health setback? Or the first sign that one of music's most enduring careers could be entering an unexpected new chapter?
All night. Then, yeah, it was a light bulb moment, though, because then you were like, oh, he is having a hard time.
Overnight, United Center in Chicago.
That was the moment this story stopped being about a single concert and started becoming something much bigger. Within just a few hours, two completely different narratives had taken over the internet. One group urged people to slow down, pointing out that very little verified information had actually been released. The other began digging through old interviews, past health discussions, and years of public appearances, attempting to connect details that may, or may not, have had any real connection to the events unfolding now. That was the exact moment uncertainty transformed into widespread speculation. Audience recordings from inside the arena quickly spread across every major platform, collecting millions of views. News outlets reported on the unexpected end to the performance, while fans replayed the same brief clips again and again, convinced they might uncover something everyone else had overlooked. With every replay, the questions only became more difficult to ignore. Had decades of non-stop touring finally begun catching up with one of music's most recognizable performers? Was this simply an isolated medical setback following an exhausting evening on stage? Or had social media turned one unexpected incident into something much larger than the available facts could support? No official medical update provided definitive answers. Meanwhile, many supporters returned to Lionel Richie's earlier interviews describing the vocal challenges he fought through years ago. Those deeply personal experiences naturally resurfaced in public conversations once again, despite there being no verified evidence connecting them to the recent on-stage interruption. Others shifted attention toward the relentless pace of major concert tours. One arena after another. One flight after the next. One demanding performance after another. Supporters openly questioned whether artists performing well into their 70s face physical demands that most audiences rarely stop to consider. Those conversations reflected genuine concern from fans, not confirmed medical explanations. Public attention intensified even further when additional performances were postponed following medical advice. That single development changed the entire direction of the story. For many observers, it appeared that recovery had become the immediate focus. Beyond that, however, no detailed medical guidance was publicly released, leaving space for growing curiosity, but not for definitive conclusions. Across social media, one emotion appeared again and again: concern, not certainty. Thousands of fans encouraged Lionel Richie to prioritize his health before thinking about another performance. Others reflected on the enormous challenge legendary entertainers face as they try to balance decades of audience expectations with the realities that come after a lifetime under the spotlight. As the conversation continued expanding, one truth became impossible to overlook. The most dramatic claims circulating online were often the least supported by verified information. Rumors raced across the internet. Facts struggled to keep up. And despite an endless stream of theories, the biggest question remained exactly where it started. What really happened behind the scenes after Lionel Richie walked away from that stage? Until more verified information is made public, that unanswered question continues driving the story forward, and leaves millions searching for clarity instead of speculation.
Unfortunately, Lionel is not feeling well. He won't be able to continue with the show, and additional information will be available. Thank you for your patience and your understanding. It's just been amazing. Safe travels.
The moments that stay with people the longest are not always the loudest. Sometimes, they are the ones defined by an unexpected silence. For more than 4 decades, Lionel Richie has stood before audiences across the world, creating memories that reached far beyond the stage. His music became part of weddings, family milestones, celebrations, and deeply personal moments shared across generations. For countless listeners, his voice was never just another hit on the radio. it became woven into the soundtrack of their lives. That is why the images from St. Paul carried such unexpected emotional weight. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't centered on platinum records, sold-out arenas, or another successful tour. It became about the person behind the legendary voice. Across social media, thousands of longtime supporters began posting favorite performances, unforgettable concert moments, and deeply personal memories connected to songs like Hello and Endless Love. Many admitted they had never expected to witness one of music's most enduring performers facing an unexpected interruption in front of a live audience. The emotional response spread almost instantly, not because anyone suddenly had definitive answers, but because people were reminded that even the biggest legends are never untouched by time. For years, Lionel Richie continued performing with remarkable dedication despite the demanding reality of major international tours. Every appearance requires extensive rehearsals, constant travel, intense stage production, and the responsibility of living up to expectations built over an extraordinary lifetime in music. Most audiences never witness that side of the story. They only experience the finished performance. When that performance unexpectedly comes to a stop, the illusion disappears just as quickly. Many supporters found themselves asking an entirely different question. Instead of wondering when the next show would take place, they began wondering whether stepping back, even temporarily, might ultimately be the decision that mattered most. At the same time, broader conversations emerged about how legendary performers navigate their passion for entertaining while facing the physical realities that accompany decades on the road. Those discussions reflected genuine public concern rather than confirmed explanations, but they revealed just how deeply audiences remain connected to artists who have shaped their lives for generations. Perhaps that is the reason this story continues to resonate so deeply. It is no longer only about one interrupted performance. It has become a reminder that even those who seem larger than life eventually face moments that reveal their humanity. And until more verified information becomes available, it is concern, not certainty, that continues to shape every conversation surrounding what happened next. What unfolded over the course of one unexpected evening may have reshaped the public conversation surrounding Lionel Richie in ways few people could have predicted. The headlines were no longer highlighting another successful stop on a world tour. Instead, they became dominated by uncertainty. Questions about his health, the future of scheduled performances, and whether one of music's most iconic voices could continue meeting the demands of a global touring career quickly became the center of public attention. As the story gained momentum, the postponed performances began to represent far more than simple scheduling changes. For many supporters, they signaled a rare moment when personal well-being appeared to come before the pressure of performing. While countless fans welcomed that decision with understanding, it also fueled even more curiosity about what the coming weeks might hold. Would the remaining dates move forward as originally planned? Could Lionel Richie return to the stage with the same presence and energy audiences have admired for decades? Or might additional changes become necessary before that happens? At that point, no official answers had been provided. That absence of confirmed information shaped public opinion more than any dramatic headline ever could. Across television broadcasts, entertainment publications, and social media platforms, the discussion gradually shifted away from celebrating Lionel Richie's extraordinary legacy and toward a broader conversation about the realities experienced by performers who have spent a lifetime entertaining millions. Many argued that artists who have given so much to their audiences deserve the opportunity to slow down without feeling pressured to meet impossible expectations. Others believed this unexpected setback would eventually become just another chapter in a career that has repeatedly been defined by perseverance, determination, and remarkable comebacks. For now, however, neither perspective has the full story. The tour may continue. The schedule could still change. Future official updates may offer reassurance, or introduce entirely new questions. Until then, one reality remains impossible to ignore. This story has grown into something much larger than one interrupted performance. It has become a conversation about legacy, resilience, time, and the extraordinary expectations placed upon artists whose voices have become part of people's lives across generations. And that is exactly why millions continue watching so closely, waiting for verified updates, not viral speculation, to reveal what happens next. So, what really unfolded after the stage went dark? Was the night in St. Paul simply an unexpected setback for one of music's greatest performers? Or could it mark the beginning of a completely new chapter in Lionel Richie's remarkable journey? Right now, verified answers remain limited, and millions of fans are still waiting for confirmed updates instead of internet speculation. But one thing has become impossible to overlook. The conversation is no longer just about a concert. It's about legacy. It's about resilience. And it's about the reality that even the biggest icons eventually face moments no one expects. Whether the next official update brings reassurance or raises even more questions, the world will be watching. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Lionel Richie will return to the stage stronger than ever? Or do you think this moment could become a major turning point in his career? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one. And if you enjoy in-depth fact-based stories that separate verified information from viral rumors, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us as we continue following every confirmed development in this story. Because sometimes, the biggest story is the one that's still unfolding.